This is a fight that feels like, hey, Jack, we're sorry your fight fell through. Here's a guy making his UFC debut. It feels like a tune-up. It feels like a build-up fight.
What do you hear? What do you say? This is how to pick up your parlay. I'm Timmy Shoes with Inside Fighting, and I'm joined once again by our editor-in-chief, Jesse Rowe. Jesse, we've got some fights coming up. UFC Vegas 77. My man, how you doing?
Doing very well. You know, it's hard to keep the same level of hype when you come from such an incredible week at International Fight Week, UFC 290, where every fight was amazing. The card was amazing. Every fight kind of lived up to it. It's a little bit of a downgrade, but you know, there are hills and valleys in this game. So we just have a little bit of like a peace and break where we just get to kind of enjoy some fights this weekend that maybe they don't have like the highest of stakes. There are still some opportunities to make some money on this card, which is what's most important. If the money opportunities are there, you should take them. So I'm excited for this.
Money talks. UFC 290 is obviously a very hard card to follow because that was an amazing card.
One of the best
but I
ever.
will say,
yeah,
one of the best ever. I agree. I will say this: it's always these cards that people think are going to suck that always have some amazing moments.
Yep.
So don't sleep on UFC Vegas 77 just yet. We are going to get right into it. The main card, looking at 3 fights today. It is the return of T-Rex. Terrance McKinney, who I'm a very big fan of, he's taking on Nazim Sadykhov. Now, Sadykhov is 8-1. He was a Dana White Contender Series prospect. He's got some hype around him. He is a minus 155 favorite. And Terrance McKinney is a plus 135 underdog, known for his power, but he is coming off a brutal knockout loss at UFC 283. I was there in Rio, and he sort of took a face plant. But the kid's very powerful. He's relatively young. I actually think he's like 28. Jesse, what do you make of this fight?
Yeah, this is tough because Terrance McKinney has all the talent in the world. Very, very talented guy, obviously. He's had some pretty awesome highlights in his career. But that knockout against Bonfim, I mean, if you go back and you watch it, really you can judge a fighter based on how they come back from knockouts like that. He was, the way that he was hit too was the Bonfim faked his knee to the right and then ended up exploding with his left knee in midair. He was like sort of shifted midair, and the knee came
jumping switch knee
right here underneath the jawline, hit him kind of like at the neck and at the jawline. So it was a clean knockout, but it was almost like the best possible place that he could have gotten knocked out, where like it might not have some of those lingering effects that other knockouts do. Like it wasn't right on the temple, it wasn't right on the brain, it wasn't right on the chin, it was right there. So hopefully this is a knockout that he can recover from. I like the odds with McKinney because I think he is a talented guy, but Timmy, the guy he's facing, his name is Nazim Sadykhov. And he's
I just want to throw this out there. He's not Russian, okay? He's Azerbaijani, which is still Eastern European. So
is he a grappler?
No, he is a knockout guy.
Okay. That makes me feel a little bit better about it. If this guy was a grappler, that would be problems. I think McKinney needs to win this fight. I'm not necessarily saying that he like definitively that is going to, like, he absolutely needs this one because he's a guy that, you know, like focuses a lot on his social media. He hangs out with like Kevin Holland and he hangs out with Joaquin Buckley. And it's hard to maintain that like presence if you're losing fights, and if you're losing them badly too. He has to win this one. But from a betting standpoint, I like the odds on McKinney. I wouldn't suggest putting a lot of money down. But if you're considering putting money down on a high value underdog here, it's not Terrance McKinney, Nazim Sadykhov by unanimous decision.
Very nice. But I'm going.
I was all over the place there, but I just thought about it, and I don't like McKinney in this situation. I think he's gonna, yeah, I think he's gonna lose.
I like Terrance McKinney. I like T-Rex. These are two strikers, and apparently has a weakness to knees because I think he got knocked out. He's got knocked out by a few knees before. Was it Drew Dober who knocked him out with a knee?
No, but I saw the highlight. I forget who it was. I'm worried about his ability to make adjustments because it feels like I've watched a few of his fights, and I'm not trying to interrupt you, but it seems like he has some, like, I noticed that about how he has a weakness with knees. It's like he hasn't made these adjustments between fights. He needs to really like buckle down and start to like focus in on game plans a little bit better. I don't know. It's just an observation I made.
We're going to see. But I'm going with T-Rex. This is a sentimental pick. He is plus 135, so you get a little bit of value there. He really reminds me of Terrance McKenna. If you don't know who that is, Google him. Just showing off my pothead nature there. But
Terrance McKenna?
I'm going with T-Rex. Terrance McKenna. You don't know who Terrance McKenna is?
I know who Terrance McKinney is.
Well, yes, that's who. That's,
right,
that's
yeah. So that was Terrance McKenna. Wow,
yeah.
okay.
Terrance McKenna, yeah.
Kenna.
He's a
yeah. No, I know who this guy is. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the godfather of
right.
pothead philosophy.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, and anytime I hear Terrance McKinney, that's who I think of. I'm going with T-Rex. I'm going with knockout. And if you want to look at the prop bets, I bet Terrance McKinney by knockout is a pretty good bet. But
and I do think winning by knockout is his path to victory, where I think Sadykhov is probably just going to eke out like a unanimous decision. That would be my guess if I were betting on these outcomes. Although Sadykhov clearly has knockout power too. No. So
they're both finishers. Sadykhov is 8-1. He has 6 KOs. He only has 1 decision. So
I just think McKinney's going to be safe in this fight. Coming off a knockout, I think he's going to, like how Usman came off of the Edwards knockout. I think he's going to be very safe.
That's a good point. That's a good point. We got to see if he makes those adjustments.
Yeah.
We're going to learn a lot about Terrance McKinney in this next fight. Moving on, Jack Della Maddalena finally has an opponent. It was supposed to be Sean Brady. Then I think there was another late replacement who pulled out, and now he's finally fighting. He's fighting a guy named Bassil Haffez. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. Basil. I'm going to call him Basil because that's kind of funny. But he's making his UFC debut. He's getting thrown into the fire against Jack Della Maddalena, who is a minus 585 favorite. Basil is a plus 420 underdog. So if you want a very risky bet on that plus 420, go with Haffez. Jesse, what do you got to say?
Yeah, this is a fight that feels like, hey, Jack, we're sorry your fight fell through. Here's a guy making his UFC debut. It feels like a tune-up. It feels like a build-up fight. This is a bet the house moment only because Jack is so talented. He took care of your boy, Rude Boy Randy Brown pretty easily when they fought. He looked great. Jack is destined to be in the top 5 in the next few fights. Bet the house because you're not obviously getting a lot of value, nearly minus 600. I don't see Jack losing this fight, but if you want to put a little bit of like little sprinkle on Haffez, if you're willing to lose like, 30 or $40, yeah, go for it. But Jack all the way, and I'd be
go for it, but don't go for it.
Yeah.
I mean, put $40 on a plus 420. That's pretty good odds. But I think Jack Della is going to get another first round finish.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be fighting Sean Brady. That is a much more interesting fight. That's the fight I hope happens after this. I hope Brady comes back healthy. But Jack Della is going to run through him again. Another first round finish for the man.
Bet on the outcome. A first round finish for Jack. That's probably the way to bet this.
Yep. Dive into the prop bet. See if you get a first round knockout, first round submission. Now, main event. We've got a fan favorite. She's been around for a while. Holly, the preacher's daughter, Holm, is taking on the Brazilian Mayra Bueno Silva. Now, Bueno Silva is a plus 155 underdog. And Holly Holm is a minus 180 favorite. I find these odds very interesting.
Yeah.
Jesse, what do you make of this fight?
I absolutely love these odds for Mayra Silva. Holly Holm is a legend, but she's only a legend because she beat one person. She beat Ronda Rousey, and that's not a knock on Holly Holm. It's just a fact. She beat Ronda Rousey, and that elevated her star power. She's 15-6. She has not been this like world beater in MMA. She's obviously very good. She's got good, boxing, obviously, no question about it. This feels like a fight where Silva will submit Holly within the first 2 rounds. And that's where I know is it a 5-round fight?
It's the main event. So yes.
So yeah. So I think Silva, I'd bet money on Silva by submit. Is she jiu-jitsu, right?
She is a jiu-jitsu player. Yeah. Yes. I think
I love the odds.
7 submissions.
I love the odds for Silva, and I'd also sprinkle some money on a submission as well. I don't even have to think twice about it, to be honest.
Beautiful. We are in perfect lockstep. The reason I was so intrigued by these odds is because Silva is a grappler, and Holly Holm is not known for her grappling defense. I mean, she did get choked out by Miesha Tate right after knocking out Holly Holm. Ronda Rousey. So yeah, I think these odds, Bueno Silva is not a huge underdog, but I think you get a lot of value, and I think you're right on the money about a submission. Go into the prop bets, see what Silva by submission nets you, because that was probably a pretty good bet.
I think it's the best money-making opportunity out of these 3 fights, to be honest.
And you maybe if you string together a parlay, you get Terrance McKinney by knockout, Jack Della by knockout, and then Bueno Silva by submission. I bet that's a nice little 3-leg parlay right there.
I like it. Yeah. Preacher's daughter. She's also 42 years old, 43 years old. She's up there in age.
Yeah, she's up there. And I don't think she's that. How old is she?
I think she's like 41 or something. Either way, I don't love this fight for Holly. So
41.
Gonna Silva all the way. So
all right. And that wraps it up for UFC Vegas 77. You can find us on InsideFighting.com. We're on the social medias, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. Hit us up. Thanks for watching. Peace. Nice.
Take note of this.
Busting out the cash.
Yeah.
Those,
I'm covering the one.
Andrew Jacksons.
With 20s. I'm covering the one. This is what you do to like strippers. You show them the 20 first, but you just have a bunch of ones underneath it. So
that's what you're supposed to wrap 100 around a roll of $1 bills.
Right,
That's the way to do it.